Hey guys, this is Wildcat Chris Harris, TNA original and one half of 6-time TNA World Tag Team Champions, America's Most Wanted. You are listening to the TNA Cross the Line podcast.
TNA Wrestling, Cross the Line.
And we're back with episode 203 of the TNA Across the Line podcast. I am Bob Colling Jr. And with me, as always, is Dallas Gridley. And Dallas, we are on the December 8th, 2005 edition of TNA iMPACT. And everybody might be wondering, this isn't the normal day for iMPACT, the normal date. And you'd be correct, because you would be expecting this to be December 10th. And it's not. Because, ladies and gentlemen, or mostly probably just gentlemen, we are on Thursday, prime time Thursday, 10 o'clock. I don't really know if 10 o'clock is considered prime time anymore. I think that's towards the end of prime time. But we're in a better time slot than midnights on Saturdays. Or 11 o'clock on Saturdays, whatever the case is. I don't know. But it's also the go-home show before Turning Point, which is taking place this coming Sunday. Just a few days, 4 days. So, Dallas, are you excited for another primetime special or what?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, this one's not 2 hours, so it's got that going for it. I'm kind of disappointed they didn't, hype up more stuff for it, especially after... I think the first one went pretty well, at least according to us. So I'm surprised that they didn't want to hype something up to get people excited. Besides, hey, it's on a different night and time next week for the go-home show for Turning Point especially. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I mean, I think it's going to be, hopefully, another good episode of iMPACT as we head toward Turning Point. As we talked about last week, though, I keep thinking, I have the notes in front of me that we're going to be talking about from our last episode, but we're hyping up some of these pay-per-view matches, maybe even some stuff that is leaning into what's happening after the pay-per-view. And we talked about it last week, but with the Dudley Boys not at this taping, Team 3D, are we just going to have just America's Most Wanted talk shit for another week and then they're just going to be at the pay-per-view? I mean, I guess they kind of have to do that, right? Unless they sent in a video from Japan.
That's a really good point.
I mean, that's one of the bigger matches on the pay-per-view. And unfortunately, due to the miscommunication that we heard about, there's not really much we can do. I mean, I like cocky AMW watching the funeral again because that's funny. But the thought that there was bigger stuff planned and they had to scrap all of it because they were in Japan.
I'm going to feel like a complete idiot for what I'm about to say. I haven't even realized that we haven't seen them in the impact zone for the last couple weeks.
Was it all of them? I know it was this one. Were they not at the last taping either?
Well, I'm saying a couple of weeks. We didn't see them last week.
No, not last week. Yeah.
They're not going to be there in person this week.
Nope. Well, we saw them. The first one? Because that's when they announced the match.
The challenge, yeah. But I think that kind of shows you that, or shows me that the build for AMW and Team 3D has been strong enough to a point where I don't need half of the competitors on TV. And that is probably a statement towards AMW for their ability to carry it while they're absent.
Well, as we've mentioned, their heel run right now is top notch. I think it's really good character work and stuff like that. So we're seeing that get brought out, and the trash talking and all that stuff is keeping it going.
Yeah, I mean, AMW especially in the Asylum years. A good babyface tag team, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But this heel tag team, and I know like a lot of people say, it's easier to be a heel than a babyface because it's tough to get people to cheer for you, and they accomplish that. But their ability to make you hate them or just be assholes character-wise has been quite refreshing. I think as a babyface team, they definitely reached a point of like you got to change it up, and just like the subtleness of it all, with like Harris acting more aggressive, and just like the vibe, like it was just like a gradual thing. Like we picked up on it. We were like, oh yeah, wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
They don't.
The laughing and like
the laughing and shit. It's like
the way it turned. I mean, it was very well done.
It wasn't like an abrupt like, oh my god, that just happened. That's like, you know what, this is really making sense, and no kidding that they used the beer bottle or whatever.
Right.
So
we'll see what happens.
It's definitely been a bright spot so far lately.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. There's plenty of other stuff, of course, that we're going to talk about a lot during this show, leading into Turning Point. But I guess let's talk a little bit about what we saw last week, including some notes from Dave Meltzer. And then we'll talk about some other notes. And, Bob, I do have some during the show today, so I'm sorry to let you down. But we'll get through. And there's not too much here. But let's run down the card. And then I have a few notes that I'll point out that Dave talks about specific segments and stuff from the December 3rd, 2005 episode of Impact. So starting off, we saw Chris Sabin defeat Alex Shelley, Austin Aries, and Petey Williams in 6 minutes. I'd say that arguably the highlight of that was Alex Shelley coming out with the video camera.
Yeah. Student
of the game. Of course, he wants to tape his matches and learn, is what Mike tonight told us, but we know what's going on.
Wink, wink, nudge,
wink,
nudge.
Wink, wink. Abyss defeated the debuting Kenny King in 1 minute and 37 seconds, so he didn't have a great debut, but that's okay. He just he took a how'd you describe it, Bob? It was he took a good beating.
Yeah, Kenny King. His debut may not have been an impressive win, but it was an impressive way to take a beating.
Yes, it was. And then Sabu and him brawled outside of the Impact Zone, and Abyss chokeslammed him on guardrails. It's pretty cool. And then, you're saying one guard railing. It was like 5. Sorry, you're right. He knocked over an entire stack of them, and it was a whole thing.
That's double whammy, dude. That hurts even more.
Mm-hmm. And then in the main event, we saw the Diamonds in the Rough, David Young, Elix Skipper, and Simon Diamond defeat Raven in the Clockwork Orange House of Fun match, its debut on Spike TV, in 5 minutes 40 seconds. And Bob, looking at these match times, this might be one of the least in-ring action impacts we have seen.
You're kidding. Even when their current catchphrase is less talking and more wrestling?
I don't know, dude. I mean, what?
Why? What's the match times?
We have 6 minutes, 5:40, 1:37. And it went about 42 minutes.
Wait a minute. So it was 6 minutes, 5 minutes, and 1?
I mean, if you're rounding down, yeah. Even if you round up.
So not even half.
If you want to be nice and you want to round up, right?
So let's say 7:62. So it's 15 minutes.
That's not a lot.
No.
I don't know if it didn't feel that bad watching it, but it is weird to look at it. You know what I mean? Like looking at the time.
15 minutes. So we got
the Jarrett segment. We had the James Mitchell talking after Abyss's match. We saw AMW backstage, 4 Life Crew backstage. We're going to talk about most of this stuff here in a second. But so there was the Rhino video. We did have a lot of video packages though. We saw DVD ones. We saw Turning Point like twice. Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah, and like when Jackie Gata came out and stuff, that was kind of extended.
Right, that's what I mean. So I don't know. It was just kind of interesting.
Wow, I guess Well, for 42 minutes, you just about, let's say, 15 minutes of in-ring I mean, that's not too bad, I guess, but
Yeah. It seems low for what we normally have. Maybe I'm thinking wrong, but off the top of my head, that seems low.
I feel like in an hour program, or in this case, 42 minutes or 40, whatever, 42, 43 minutes. I would probably want to keep my wrestling to around half of the time at least.
I feel like that's kind of what I was thinking too, to be honest.
Because if you go from 42, so that's what, 21 minutes of wrestling, and then you have 21 minutes roughly of promos and stuff. If you can't do a few meaningful promos in that allotted time and not having to go over, then that'd be kind of weird to me. But
Right.
And then 21 minutes of wrestling, you do probably, 3 matches around 6 minutes, and then another short, really good enhancement match. I mean, that
Why not?
doesn't seem too reasonable or too insane.
A couple quick highlights here of Dave Meltzer's notes from the show. An interesting one, which we noted, is Terry Taylor was doing backstage interviews. Well, sort of. He usually just handed the microphone to someone, but
Fucking Bob just took it from him, and he just stood there awkwardly, had nothing to do, nothing to contribute at that point.
No. Well, this is unfortunately Shane Douglas missed the tapings, and that is actually because his wife is pregnant at this time and had some health issues during that week, so he was not present at the tapings. So there was a reason.
His wife must have been franchised.
Yeah, I guess she was.
Good shit.
Also, we didn't mention it yet, but Bob, there was a big cameo in the beginning of the show. Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yeah.
That's big. And I guarantee you he's showing up this week because of the White Sox celebration or something. Hopefully he, what did he say? Release his pitcher or something like that?
No, he said he's like, I got to go now. I got to go release my pitcher, which was in reference to he had to pee.
Yeah, so he did that.
He was talking about his penis. Yeah, so that's a good point to bring that up, because for some reason TNA is deciding to celebrate the Major League Baseball World Series champions here on December 8th. Now, they've probably won the World Series usually ends in October. So we're looking at about a month and a half, likely, of that they've been champions. Now, I don't know. I'm assuming there's got to be a baseball player on the White Sox that is a TNA fan. I know, like, Curtis Granderson of the Tigers and, like, later on Yankees and stuff. He's a big wrestling fan, and I think he makes a couple of crowd appearances in TNA. And he's actually like a center fielder, and actually he was a pretty good ball player. If this is I feel like TNA's luck, it's gonna be like the bullpen coach, where like no one knows who he is. It's like, oh, here's Carl. He just watches the pitchers throw, and he waits for the manager to put his arm up, and he goes, "All right, go ahead, Timmy, go pitch."
Oh my god!
So,
we will find out soon enough, I guess.
If it's a guy in the starting lineup of the World Series champions, and they don't even say who it is, because they haven't. They just said the White Sox.
Right.
So someone representing the Chicago White Sox is, I'm assuming, going to be on the show. So if they do not say, hey, or they didn't, they should have been like, hey, this is who's here. That makes me feel like it's not somebody that people would know.
Well, I can't wait to find out, and hopefully Bob will enlighten us about who the person is, assuming he knows who he is.
I'll know. I'm a sports guy. I'll know. And if I don't know, then that just proves my point of what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, so that should be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Speaking of that Sabu and Abyss situation, Abyss kind of overcame his fears there. He used a barbed wire chair against Sabu, thanks to Father James Mitchell kind of helping him out with that. And Dave notes how Sabu seems to get the worst on every confrontation that they have, which I didn't really notice until I read that. And I was like, you know what? He is always laid out at the end of these brawls.
Yeah, that probably means he's going over at Turning Point.
Right? You'd have to assume.
Yeah. Here's a question for you, Dallas. How do, I don't know what maybe fear you have or whatever, but how do you normally get over your fears?
Usually it's not a strange man telling me, hey, you used.
That's kind of my point. So usually, I feel like the story here should be.
You got to work up to it, maybe.
Well, so like
Yeah.
usually, like a fear is like, oh, it happens, and then like you're okay. So like a fear for me was getting hit by a car, and I did get hit by a car, and I survived. Now it hurt, but I'm okay. So now I'm not really afraid to get hit by a car anymore because it's happened. Right? That's a legitimate fear. That's a fair. Okay. That's a fair fear. I feel like if Abyss is afraid of barbed wire, and he's been hit by barbed wire, wouldn't it register into his brain saying, "Oh, yeah, that kind of stung, but I'm not dead. So what are you afraid of? You've experienced the pain, so you should maybe be then okay." But in this instance, he overcame it because Father James Mitchell was just like, "Here, take it."
Right.
And he like pressed it into his gut, and he's like, "Okay," and he took it and he used it.
Yeah, and then we just moved on.
I didn't realize his fear was even holding it. I thought his fear was like experiencing the contact with it, but I guess they're going really deep with it.
Yeah, it's yeah. I guess we'll see what happens. He's got to be still scared enough that once we go to Barbed Wire Massacre, he's going to be like scared in the ring, right? I'm assuming.
No doubt about it. If Sabu throws him into the bar, he'll stop and be like, whoa, and he'll be like drop kicked into it, and we'll be fine.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, something stupid like that.
We also saw a Rhino video package once again, and it's interestingly enough, they kind of beat around the bush about the situation that Rhino talked about with his wife leaving him and taking his kid. And Dave Met brings this up. I mean, Bob enlightened us pretty much the whole situation, but they beat around the bush about him being fired for having the argument with his wife, messing up the hotel lobby, as Bob said, throwing a vase or something like that.
It was like a vase or a lamp or something in the lobby. He chucked it.
Yeah, well, my favorite part of this is that Jarrett came out and basically was like, hey, they're making him look like they're making him into the baby face and making us give sympathy. And like literally, we said it literally seconds before. So at the same time, it was like, wow, is Jarrett the face now? Because I don't want to feel bad for Rhino right now. I like mean Rhino, but
that's what I'm saying, man. Like the Rhino character is not somebody where it's like, I can relate to that.
And that's what they're doing. My life, wife
want
left me. I had a hard
life
growing up. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I want him hitting the Rhino driver and saying, "I'm gonna fucking kill your wife." He said to Sandman. That's what I want.
Yeah,
give me the Rhino. Not
right
you
now.
guys don't know what's been going on. My wife left me, my kids. I love my family. Grew up broken home. Cat wasn't around.
Right.
All right, Rhino. I don't feel like you're a badass anymore.
Yeah. Well,
that's emotional damaged goods.
The fans don't really like Jarrett because they're chanting "We want wrestling" and boring chants during his promo. And they were so loud they were drowning him out to the degree here. Now, anyways, the company viewpoint seems to be that the live crowd in Orlando is tired of Jarrett, and the internet fans maybe as well. But since Spike has brought them a whole new audience, those fans have only been around 2 months, so they probably aren't tired of him.
Oh, what are we talking? Is this what Dave is saying?
Yeah.
He's saying that the TV audience isn't tired of him yet?
That TNA thinks that. That's a company viewpoint.
Okay, so TNA, if he thinks that's what TNA thinks,
yes,
then TNA would be absolute morons.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now, during this whole situation, Jarrett, of course, brought up the Jackie Gata situation and tried to make it a mystery, but like so much of their stuff, they don't hammer it home and rush it out there so it doesn't resonate. And of course, we have no fucking idea. Eventually, she came out. Her and Jarrett kind of had a confrontation. Christian was out during this whole situation. We talked all about that while it was going on, but it seems very clear that we're getting Jarrett and Christian very soon for the title. So Jarrett's probably winning at Turning Point. And then Bobby Roode hit him from behind, assuming that we will see them face off very soon as well. They essentially plugged nothing for the primetime special during last week's episode, besides that it's on a different time. But they did talk a lot about pay-per-view matches. And we might have already briefly mentioned it, but Bob Armstrong also was there. He did a promo with the 4 Live crew. That's right, guys. The 4 Live crew with Kip Japes.
Almost a 5
Yeah.
Live crew, because you would have thought Harry Taylor was involved. If you had just tuned into Impact and you see Bullet Bob with the microphone, you're thinking Bullet Bob is interviewing the 5 Live crew with Terry fucking Taylor now as a member.
Yeah. Dave says Bob is looking very old.
I mean,
And he goes, I think he's late 60s, but he can still talk.
late 60s.
I mean, I don't know that for
Hang
sure.
on,
But
hang on. He thinks so. He doesn't know this. He thinks, right? Okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna find this out real quick, because Bob Armstrong was actively wrestling for Smoky Mountain Wrestling in like 1992. So back then he would have been. I feel like this is gonna be super old. Okay, so in 1995.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that would be 9 years ago from what we're watching,
Right.
10. We're in 2005, so 10 years ago. Yeah, he was 56.
Holy shit.
So he's at least about 65 right now.
Holy shit. Well, Dave hit it right on the head.
Yeah, but here's the thing. My point is this. He was looking old at 56. So of course he's going to look old at 65.
Well, now he's looking very old.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
When he was appearing on TNA at the beginning, he was 62.
That's so wild. That's crazy.
Bob looking pretty old. Yeah. No shit, Dave. No shit. That's what happens.
The main event, of course, we saw with Diamonds in the Rough destroy Raven. And of course, Zbysko's trying to get him to sign that release, and all that situation is still going on. Raven will not sign. And then to close out Impact, finally, we saw Samoa Joe beating the absolute shit out of AJ Styles backstage.
I don't respect your code.
I don't respect your code.
That's such a that I'm telling you, that is something they're pulling from Ring of Honor.
That's the first time he spoke, was it not?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
because AJ was talking like on the big screen. Samoa Joe just like looked at it,
mm-hmm.
and then from the TV, like the big screen, AJ's like, "Don't you turn your back on me! Don't turn around when I'm talking to you. You know I'm talking to you
Crazy.
backstage."
Yeah. Okay, Bob, I have a couple other notes for you here before we get going on Impact. Let's start off with Bound for Glory. The pay-per-view from October 23rd, 2005. It ended up doing approximately 35,000 buys, give or take a few thousand, at least based on numbers as of this point. The bad news on that number, besides the fact that they promoted the show as their Super Bowl for months, is the number was roughly the same as they were doing for the first few pay-per-views after they got on FSN. The company's profile is much higher on Spike, and they have 4 times as many TV viewers per week, but that hasn't translated into a lot of new buys. The November 13th Genesis show may be way down from that. It says I don't have a number, but it's along the lines of what they were doing in the summer without TV, so that's probably around 15,000 to 20,000. Dave goes on to say, I knew it would be down because you weren't going to get much in the way of impulse buys, and most pay-per-view buys fit into that category. To pay $30 to see wrestling the day that Guerrero died, plus weeks, was a quick turnaround, and the lineup wasn't the strongest.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
So fair points.
I feel like they've really made Turning Point like a strong show.
I do too. I really do.
To like combat the Genesis low buy rate that probably.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I totally agree. I have a Dixie Carter interview note here. Mm-hmm. Dixie Carter, she did an internet interview saying there are a bunch of big announcements coming, and teased a major surprise at the December 11th pay-per-view Turning Point. The TNA website also listed something coming on the show that would change the face of wrestling. Now, I have a rumor for you. This is not confirmed at press time, but there is a good chance that the big news would be none other than the return of Sting, possibly for a longer-term commitment.
Oh my fucking Christ almighty. I don't understand. Okay. I think Sting might be one of the most confusing wrestlers when it comes to relationship with TNA, because like Bound for Glory would have been he would have been a perfect like surprise replacement here for Big Kev, your friends.
Yeah, yep.
And but you were like saying or they want him even for like the Spike debut or whatever.
Oh yeah, the Spike debut thing, yeah.
Yeah, and Sting was like, I am not working for TNA.
I'm not doing
that part of my life is over. I went to the asylum where we would get 6,000 weekly pay-per-view buys, and now that you're on national TV, no, absolutely not. Mm-hmm. And now he's potentially going to do it again.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if he sees this influx of like WWE guys. And by that I mean like Rhino and Team 3D and Christian Cage. If they are, it's like, oh, okay, so maybe they're going to invest in.
It could be.
Yeah.
So
this is going to be the real deal. But now here's my next point. Okay. So we've been doing what, like 0.7, 0.8? Right?
Yeah, roughly. Yep.
So if Sting were to do that, they're like, hey, Sting's going to be on this episode of Impact, whatever. And it's promoted. If that rating is like less than I don't even know, less than a 1.2 or something. If it's less than a 1, I'll just keep it. I'll keep it even lower. If it's less than a 1, when you bring Sting in, if he wants to come in, what that tells me is that the audience that you have is likely the audience that you're just going to get.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Because I could see maybe some people not knowing who Sting is, but I mean, WCW had just been closed for 4 years. He's a known established thing. He's got the unique look, whatever. If you cannot improve on that number of people watching your show, then either promotion and advertising is the shit, or that the 925,000 people or whatever that watch your show, that is your loyal audience that you need to appease to.
Right.
Because I'd be wondering if they were to get like John Cena, and if he came in and we got a 0.9. What are we doing? No, horrible.
Yeah.
At some point, you have to have that mindset, like, oh, hey, we're bringing in all these cast-offs from WWE. Not saying that Rhino and Team 3D and Christian Cage are necessarily going to move the needle like that.
Right.
But like Sting, if he, and to me, Sting is the prototypical B+ player. That's just how it is for me. I like Sting.
I don't like that you say that.
I like Sting. He's a great babyface chasing for the belt. But as soon as he gets to the belt, you got to start all over again. And once it's recycled like that, it gets old pretty freaking quick.
It's so messed up, dude, that you say that.
But it's true. Him and Hogan, right? He wins that Starrcade. And yeah, it's all fucked up, whatever. He wins the belt finally at Super Brawl. And then by April, 2 months later, drops the belt. Because the money is not in Sting as the champion. The money is in Sting chasing the champion.
That's
where the money.
Man, it's showtime.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy Sting, but he is definitely, to me, he would not be a guy that's like, hey, let's carry this company. Luckily for Sting, Dixie Carter thinks that he's the type of guy that you need to carry a company potentially.
Well, we'll find out in due time, hopefully.
Yeah, and I'm sure it goes. I'm sure that if Dixie Carter is like, hey Steve, how about $500,000 a year? And guess what? Steven, you only have to work 5 days a year. Leave the
Can't say no to
lockdown.
that.
Leave the lockdown in April. Slammiversary in June. Bound for Glory.
He starts to leave the lockdown.
Bound for Glory in October, where you're probably gonna win the belt. Just saying it. Then maybe like one other show where you gotta drop the belt, and then the fucking Turning Point.
The Turning Point, yeah.
That's 5 times you have to wrestle. You might have to appear and like talk a couple times. That's it. So let's just say 12. We'll go 12 appearances, one time a month. You're either talking or you're fighting, and that's it. 500 grand. I would be like, I would have been, if I was Stephen Borden, I'd be like, you know what? I would have done it for 300. So you're a son.
Oh my god. In this Dixie Carter interview, she also talked about doing a house show tour in 2006. So that's cool. She was also non-committal when asked about Christy Hemme, Chris Benoit, and Chris Jericho. The latter two, Dave does not believe there's any actual talks with.
What the fuck? Chris Benoit?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Non-committal? You can't commit to somebody who's under contract with an opposing promotion.
We've been hearing his name, man. I don't know.
We've been hearing Benoit?
We heard it like twice, and I don't know why. Is he like in the midst of like his contract's about to be up or something?
I have no fucking idea. I know we've heard Jericho, but he's not attached to them.
Well, and this is the first time that we've heard Christy Hemme, I believe, and I will just say they will not be the last. We will talk about her in coming weeks.
Benoit though, like that is.
I don't think we're going to be talking about him much more.
That's
There's nothing to talk about. Yeah, pretty interesting. Okay,
I can't commit to fucking Benoit. Okay.
Yeah, I got two more for you. Frank Dickerson, we talked about last week. He was removed as the CEO, right? He was at first replaced as CEO and didn't leave on his own decision. And there may have been second guessing on this. The wrestlers were all introduced to a new CEO and told Dickerson was no longer working in the company. Well, he was being brought back to work on other Panda Energy business. So he's not fully gone, but by the end of the week, Dickerson was back, and the idea is that he's around temporarily to ease the transition. It appears there is pressure to get the company profitable, or at least breaking even, in a hurry, and with those pay-per-view numbers, it's not happening. Dickerson hadn't watched wrestling since 40 years ago or so here in Georgia.
Oh.
Ray Gunkel feuding with Freddie Blassie in Georgia. But anyways, he became a huge fan, and he's the one who was very high on Scott D'Amore. Oh.
Okay, so you're telling me that their main way, this has to be what it is, their main way of producing money is just pay-per-view buys?
Yeah, which I think that here in hindsight, we can kind of defunct this because Jarrett said as soon as they got on Spike, they were profitable.
Yeah, because Meltzer's under the assumption that they were even paying Spike for the spot, which is not true.
Right. So we know now that this is not accurate, but he thought it was just almost strictly pay-per-view buys, yes.
Yeah, there's no way that just with pay-per-view buys there's no way.
No way. My final note for you, Bob, is a Christian interview, and it's a little bit longer, which is why I'm reading it to you now versus during the show. And then we'll talk about a few smaller things during today's show, but nothing crazy. So Christian did an interview saying that even if TNA wasn't an option, he still would have left WWE when his contract expired. He said having an offer from TNA just made the decision easier. He said that he's not bitter at all about his time in WWE and accomplished a lot of personal dreams in 8 years, but he knew it was time to move on. He said he left over being frustrated with how he's being used. He said most of his 8 years were great, but at the end he was frustrated. He said his body needed a break from the schedule, and his shoulder was hurting, and he was shooting it with cortisone to keep it going. He said he's made a lot of money and saved it, which allowed him to make the decision. He said he thought fans wanted to see him at a higher level and reacted to him like a bigger star. And he said he wouldn't speculate why it never translated into a higher spot on the card. He said that the TNA locker room is more upbeat. He said he's not interested in working any indie dates. He's apparently turned down some big money offers at this point. He said the schedule, the ladder matches, and the cage matches have taken a toll on him. He said he was not lowballed on his contract, but did admit that he was looking for first-class tickets. Now, stars with seniority get them in their contract. So when talking about a new contract, but that had no bearing on his decision. He still had his WWE contract, I believe. He said with the time that he'd put in the matches he'd done, he thought that he had earned easier travel. And he didn't get any of that. So here he is in TNA, and he seems pretty happy that he's here. So nonetheless.
I wonder what kind of big money indie spots he rejected. Was it like Combat Zone Wrestling saying, hey, you want to do Tournament of Death for $300?
That's kind of what I'm wondering, too.
I don't think Ring of Honor would have asked him. What do you think? What do you think his rate would be?
I'm bad at this kind of stuff. I feel like it's got to be pretty high.
Well, all right. So for context, right, we can maybe add some context. I believe it was leaked when AJ was doing indies that he was getting like 7,500.
Oh, okay.
And that was when like the New Japan thing after TNA. So that's like what, 2014, 2015. So if AJ back then is getting 7,500, what do you think Christian Cage is going to get on the indies in 2005?
We also heard the Dudley Boys number recently, didn't we?
Yeah, wasn't it? I think it was.
Oh my God.
1,000 each or something like that.
1,500 each or something like that.
Something like that. It was an even amount for both. It was either $2,000 or $3,000. I was thinking $3,000 for Christian, maybe a little bit more.
I almost see. I'm a high baller here, and I was gonna say 5 because I'm bad at this.
Yeah.
Especially
if we ran a promotion, we'd go out of business. Show one.
Yeah, it would be so bad.
The undercard guys like usually I get $50, but Bob and Dallas gave me like $600. Like I don't know how I say no to this.
Right.
And there's 45 people in the crowd, so like.
Well, I'm also curious if so Christian doesn't want to do indies, but does he have a rate that's so high that he didn't think people would want to do it, and then people offered it, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not doing it."
Nah, I don't want to do it. Yeah, that could have been.
What if it was here in 2005? He's like 7,500 for a show, and someone offered him it, and he was like, "Nah."
Right. So for me, just thinking it through, and obviously there's travel and hotels, whatever. But to me, the rate that you're paying somebody is ultimately, and I understand the physical demand and everything, typically is for a match that goes 20 minutes. So
if you're lucky.
If you're lucky, right. Sometimes it's significantly less than that.
Right.
So how much are you paying somebody for the physical work of 10 to 20 minutes? Because most times you're probably paying for their travel, you're paying for their stay at the hotel or whatever. You incorporate all of that. How much are you really paying for the match?
Well, enough.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how people do it. Bring all these big names, and it's like, yeah, just in talent alone, I spent $20,000. It's like, okay. You're nuts, but that's cool.
Yeah, that's a lot. But hey, that's how it goes, man. Yeah. That's why we would go broke.
No, absolutely.
Okay, Bob, I am ready to get into this episode of Impact. I got some stuff to talk about during the show.
All right.
And then once we hit the play button, I'll tell you guys about some explosion matches. And we're going to have a lot of fun here on the Go Home episode before Final Resolution 2005.
Turning Point.
2005. Dude, why am I stuck in 2 years from now when they switch the times around and it messes everything up?
I don't know. Maybe that's your favorite time.
It might be. Why do I? God, it drives me nuts. Anyways, Turning Point. I knew that. We just talked about it again for the last 40 minutes, but.
All right. It's time for the December 8th, 2005 edition of Impact. It is the Thursday night primetime edition, the go-home show before Turning Point 2005. The approximate runtime for us is 43 minutes and 29 seconds. If you want to watch along with us, head over to Impact Plus, or you can find it in your own personal collection. I'm going to count down from 3, and when I say play, that is when the watch along shall begin. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
This is TNA. This thing sounds different. It's like they changed the music in it or something, I feel like. I noticed it last week, too. We're going right into the intro, which is good, because I can tell you about Explosion that aired on December 16th, 2005. And yes, that is after the pay-per-view. Matt Bentley defeated Roderick Strong. Tracy was ringside for him. And then Rhino defeated A1 with Scott D'Amore ringside as well.
Rhino's on Explosion?
He sure was.
Oh.
We're prime time tonight, Bob. Look at that weird Spike TV logo in the corner. I do not like it.
What is that?
Whoa. Christian's debut against Bobby Roode. We just heard on
Yes,
at some point tonight. Not. Let's see what our opening contest is. America's Most Wanted looks like
6-man tag.
Oh. Okay. Well. Oh, they're carrying a table.
I was wondering why they were walking so slow.
I was wondering that too. They look like James Storm looked like he was hurt. Oh, it's the reserve for 3D. America's Most Unwanted. That's a funny sign. And of course, their partner. We're kicking Impact off with Jarrett and AMW.
Yeah, that's a whole bunch of TVs turning the channel.
If we're saving Christian for the main, it's shit smart.
That's absolutely what they're doing. I hope there's a show-long angle here where D'Amore is trying to convince Christian to still join Team Canada.
Oh, that'd be great.
I was being sarcastic. I don't think it'd be that great. That just seems like something they would do. All right, so I'm going to say that they're going to fight Lance Hoyt and the Naturals.
It's a... Ah, shit, here come the Naturals.
Naturals. I'm down. Now all we need is the...
Now, this is the first time Naturals, as it says, not the Naturals.
Not even the Naturals, it's Naturals.
We haven't seen... It's Chase Stevens who had the neck injury on TV.
Right.
He has been on... Well, that's not true. We saw him at the pay-per-view, I suppose. But we didn't see him. It was on the pre-show.
That's right.
So, we have not seen
with Lance
him.
Hoyt. And it's their partner.
Whoa.
Oh, that's not Lance Hoyt.
Jeff Hardy.
Jeffrey.
Really? Hardy and the Naturals versus AMW and Jeff Jarrett. Interesting.
So, Jeff Jarrett's going to just beat Jeff Hardy again? What is he doing? Oh my God. Jeff Jarrett beat him up on the ground like that. Look at that.
Jeff Hardy was crawling around and Jarrett went right after him.
Wow.
Well, speaking of Jarrett and AMW, Bob,
yeah.
Gail Kim, the movie she's apparently working on, it's called Princess. And Gail Kim is playing an assassin who is sent to kill an heiress.
Okay. She's going there to kill someone?
Yeah. She's an assassin. That's what they do.
Huh.
Is Andy Douglas about to hit Harris off the stage? Well, he ducked it, so.
No.
Oh, Andy Douglas is about to go off now.
Oh, my God. We're teasing a fucking stage drop already? Prime time, I guess, right?
Prime time.
Is there anything on the ground, or is it just
I don't know.
Concrete.
We can't see anything, so I'm assuming there's nothing down there. Catatonic? Okay, he fell off and he took out James Storm.
That's funny. I have one indie note for these guys, and it's Jeff Hardy making a rare indie appearance. December 3rd for SCW's Rage in the Cage in Conway, South Carolina. As Douglas just dove onto the AEW. The New Age Outlaws, which is BG James and Kip James, teamed up with Jeff Hardy to defeat the Midnight Express, which was Bobby Eaton, Dennis Condrey, and then it says Rob Cornette, but I'm wondering if that just means Jim Cornette.
Oh, it's Rob. Look how green Jeff Jarrett is right now, dude.
Yeah, his paint is all up on him there.
Holy crap. Dude's entire blonde hair is green. His back and arms covered in green paint. The first time I'd see someone like that, I'd say, Jeff, you cannot be doing this no more. I'd cut that shit off real fast.
Yeah, he's got to get better paint for it at least.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I realized that, dude. Rhino, they're saying, is in Detroit doing intense training for the world title match. So these videos they've been showing us are like the recent recent vignettes. He's not at the Impact Zone.
They never made that seem to be what it was.
I didn't think it was either, but apparently it was.
So he's in Detroit.
So he has not been here in the past few weeks.
Roots. Yeah, no, they never made until right now. That never seemed like that's what it was.
That seems a lot more interesting to me now. It's not just random Rhino vignettes.
Well, here's my thing. These vignettes of he was just like staring off into the water.
Well, yeah.
Where was the training?
It's his intense training.
Self-reflection.
Here comes Hardy. Boom. Oh, James Storm has a beer bottle. Chase Stevens ducks it. Andy Douglas. Ooh, he tried to take it out of his hand. I think he got him to drop it. Stevens drops him down. And Jeff Hardy on the top. Swanton on James Storm. There's no way. Absolutely no way. There we go. Harris just pulled his leg out.
Could you imagine if Hardy and the Naturals won? Oh my god.
Here we go. Natural disaster. But Jarrett with a low blow.
No, Douglas blocked it.
Oh. No way.
What?
Jarrett's going to get hit with the natural disaster. Look at the arms. Look at the arms.
Yeah, he ain't taking it.
Yeah, super kick by James Storm. Was that a hit with the handcuffs into the stroke?
I think so.
1, 2, 3. That's it. Jarrett pins Chase Stevens.
Jeff Jarrett looking like Oscar the Grouch right now.
I was thinking Shrek, but yeah, Oscar's a good one. I mean, he's so green. Oh, wait a second. They're handcuffing Jeff Hardy. He can't get on the wrist. I'm assuming he's about to give up. Oh, no, he got it. Okay. So they're setting a table up in the ring. I'm not going to lie here, Bob. I kind of feel like it would be more impactful if they threw Jeff Hardy through it. I'm just saying.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm surprised that they handcuffed him to the floor.
I guess unless they're doing both. Jeff Hardy's handcuffed as if he has this like long alliance with the Naturals.
Right. Douglas making the save. Takes Jarrett down and gets stacked.
Not for long.
Okay, so he saves Stevens.
Interesting though. The table says it's reserved for the Team 3D at Turning Point, and here. Oh, AMW hits the 3D on Andy Douglas.
On Douglas right to the table.
The crowd is so pissed. They're not making like any noise. They're not booing. They're not cheering. They're just sitting there.
Yeah, no heat's not good though. Oh, yeah. It's Rhino again.
I didn't have the energy to move on.
Okay, at least we're getting push-ups now a little bit.
Oh, yeah. See? He's training.
Yeah, my training is just staring into the camera, grunting.
When you hear that you're a piece of crap for 4 years, you start to believe it. I don't like the hoodie with like the wet hair.
Yeah. Who was saying? Are you saying WB said he was a piece of crap for 4 years?
It must be. I am the heart of a champion. You stole it for me. I was champion for less than 2 weeks, and I. Oh, did he just say I'm gonna kick your fucking ass? Is that what they?
I think he's gonna kick the living shit out of him.
Oh, okay.
See, this is the Rhino I like. We're
Piss, blood,
cussing.
and shit. Yeah, I kind of like that.
I don't like the Rhino where it's like I miss my kid.
Oh, Raven
Oh
backstage
my
being
God.
restrained.
What a horrible setup of this.
Just sign it, Raven. Come on. You know what I want, is Zbyszko. I want my title shot. You lost last week. You don't get a title shot. Losers don't get those. It's not getting any easier, brother.
He said, "Brother, Hulk Hogan's coming."
Yeah. Oh, what does he have for him at Turning Point? I have a guess, Bob.
I know who he's gonna fight.
Who do you think?
Do you really have a name?
It's a guess based on a note I have. It has nothing to. I don't know for sure.
Okay, Terry Taylor.
No, it's not who it is.
Damn it.
There is a note though that there is some serious talk now regarding bringing Sean Waltman back, and now I'm starting to wonder if that could be who it is.
Well, he does have the past interaction with Raven, I guess.
And Raven just had a bandana on his head. No, I'm kidding. But
Oh
I mean,
my God!
he
There's
did
only
those.
one of us with a bandana here, pal.
Nah, but the past thing, and he says it's not gonna get any easier, and that would be arguably the hardest opponent Zbyszko's tried to throw at him yet.
Yeah, we should point out too. Like Raven looked clean, like he was cleaned up there, facial hair wise.
Well, he's trying to look better after his beatdown last week. Actually, he probably had the bandana on to cover up the blade job. Holy shit!
Probably. Amazing Red is back.
Whoa. This is nuts. Samoa Joe against Amazing Red.
Wow.
I did not expect this.
Yeah, me either.
Bob, could you let us know when is the last time we saw Amazing Red?
Oh boy.
'Cause
Well, we did see him in the internet era.
We did?
Yeah.
Was it like once? Wait, look at oh my God, Alex Shelley's recording ringside.
Because he's got to watch the tapes, dude. Okay, here we go. So, last time we saw Amazing.
Oh, turned him inside out there with a clothesline.
And mind you, we this is episode 75 of Impact. I want to point that out. All right, so the last time that we saw Red was 20 episodes ago.
Holy shit.
July 8th, he lost to Petey Williams.
Wow.
And then we saw him at Slammiversary in a
I don't remember
six-pack match with Shark Boy, Delirious, Skipper Drill Clark, and Zach Allen.
Wow.
But before then, the last time we saw him was Impact 27. And that was on December 3rd, 2004.
High knee to Red by Samoa Joe. He's about to give him a little face wash here in the corner.
So if you incorporate it being true national TV exposure, it's been a year.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Shelley was recording a little too close and just screwed Samoa Joe up. He didn't get to finish the move, and now Red rolls up Samoa Joe.
Of the original cameraman.
Oh, nice kick. Step up Hurricane Rana on Joe. Shooting Red Star press. Kicks out too, though, because it's Samoa Joe. Oh, snap power slam. Muscle Buster. He knocked his bandana off. He hit it so hard, dude. And the coquina clutch gets locked in.
I just thought about you know that well you know this that show I Think You Should Leave thing.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Doesn't it sound like this would be a bit where like they have a guy like Samoa Joe on here and then the Tim guy is managing somebody and then he freaks out and he's like, it's just a kid. And it ends up with the bandana goes off and it is a kid.
Yeah, I could totally see it. The Morphoplex move of the night, the Muscle Buster.
I feel like I would just finish it with the Muscle Buster. I don't think we need the choke.
No, probably not. Oh,
AJ
who's this guy?
Pierzynski. Okay, that's a starting catcher.
Oh.
The only guy on the baseball field that has to wear a mask, so nobody knows what he looks like. Fantastic. Perfect.
Well, we're getting a turning point package here. So Dixie Carter did another interview on audiowrestling.com. I don't know if it's the same one as we already heard or not, but
I am shocked by all these interviews that Dixie is doing right now because I didn't realize that she was doing all this stuff when she was.
right. Well, she answered the question when asked about the TNA following in WWE's footsteps. She said she commended WWE for their efforts, but indicated TNA was not going to follow suit. She said TNA wrestlers are not about having a muscular look, and they feel they've done a good job in keeping a clean locker room. She said there was a drug problem in the past with Raven, but that has since been resolved.
With Raven. She singles out fucking Raven.
I know. It's
we
fucked
did
up.
have a hiccup with Raven, but we're good. All right, so Tenay is in the ring. He has Sanjay Dutt, Chris Sabin, and the X Division champion AJ Styles with him. And I'm assuming, is he? I don't know what we're doing here. AJ has something in his other hand.
Oh, Major League
Oh, is this for the
Baseball.
fucking World Series thing?
Yeah. The Chicago White Sox, they swept their way to winning the World Series for the first time in 88 years. Oh, wait, what is in AJ's hand? Chicago native.
Are they about to just give AJ Pierzynski like a replica belt like WWE does with all the champions?
Yeah. Oh, boy. A professional wrestler who is a coach for the White Sox. You know who that is, Bob? Because I do.
And
Okay, so Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Dale
Torborg. You gotta be joking.
Kiss Demon, baby. Kiss Demon's here.
You're joking.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Dude, he looks so freaking different without all the shit on the paint and everything.
Yeah, but Dale is coming out here thinking people know who he is, and they don't. They're all chanting Bobby, of course.
Now, just so you know, on ESPN2's Cold Pizza show, how do you say his name? Pierzynski?
Yeah,
and Torborg here, Dale Torborg, were on the show the day that this special aired.
Oh, okay.
So, and Sports Illustrated in this coming weekend's issue. So, and there's a story in USA Today that mentions something we may hear momentarily. But so there's been a lot of promotion that goes along with this whole White Sox thing. There you go. He's been a wrestling fan his whole life. Oh my goodness. They brought presents, dude. They're going to give him baseball bats to the X Division stars.
Dude,
I love
this is foreshadowing. Fucking Sting, dude. Fucking Sting.
Oh, the phenomenal AJ Pierzynski. Now, I want to point something out I just thought of, Bob.
Yeah.
AJ Styles just got his ass fucking beat at the end of the last episode of Impact.
Yeah,
And here he is, chilling with the White Sox.
he's fine. You expect him to be injured for 5 days?
No, you know what I think it is I think it's a continuity error that they didn't realize when they taped this segment before they taped the other one.
Well, how do you know that?
I don't. It's my guess.
Yeah, no, he got beat up backstage, recovered,
No.
and now he wants to hang out with AJ Pierzynski.
Bobby Heenan gave a jersey to Sanjay Dutt, and the other two got baseball bats.
Oh.
And they're about to hand a something to them, but the diamonds in the rough are coming out.
Simon has a problem.
Wow, he's even wearing a suit. He's not wearing his normal robe.
Simon has.
Thanks, Bob.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You know, God bless Simon Diamond, Pat Kenny. He was involved with Don Marie for quite a bit.
Okay.
God bless him.
God bless.
God bless.
Dude, can we just point out
Yo,
AJ
what
Pierzynski's hat? Are you looking at what I think you're looking at?
What do you think I'm looking at right now?
Is it about Marty Jannetty?
Yeah, dude, his fucking foot.
I saw that. I saw it before we recorded, and I was gonna send it to you during the show and get your live reaction. But it sounds like you found it.
His foot is the size of an infant.
Send it in our group chat with Austin. Just share the Facebook post. Get the link from the Facebook post and share it.
Well, I'm on Twitter.
Okay, share the link from Twitter then.
I'm just gonna screenshot it and then send it.
Okay, you do it the hard way, but
Dude, I'm gonna screenshot it and be like, dude, look at my fucking foot right now.
Say you got hurt at work.
Yeah, dude, I'm just like, look, this is what happens when a pallet falls on your fucking foot.
Yo, April Fools, bitch. Simon Diamond is talking shit to the White Sox. The phenomenal AJ Pierzynski.
I should put this on my Facebook page. Dude, when a fucking pallet falls
No,
on your
dude.
fucking foot.
No, you shouldn't, because it's fucking nasty.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, wait. Whoops, I don't mean to send it to him directly. Super.
Oh, dude, Dale Torborg just pushed Simon Diamond. They're talking about baseball stuff I don't understand, so I can't really
Yeah,
speak to it.
designated hitter. Okay, so Simon Diamond just said, I don't hit 256. I make home runs. Now, that doesn't make any sense because home runs don't apply to batting averages. And also, if you're hitting 256 in Major League Baseball, you're doing pretty fucking good. He probably already... He had to have seen it.
Okay, there's a huge bro breakdown on Impact.
I want to put it on my Instagram story and then put that as my caption and then be people like, what the fuck? Are you all right? Because they won't know about Marty Jannetty.
Which one? You got to put it on whatever social you have more work people on.
Oh, Facebook. Well, it goes to my Facebook story anyway through Instagram.
It's so messed up. Fort Life Crew is coming out.
Should I do it? It's just stitches.
I think you should do it.
Fuck it. I don't even care.
Oh, man. We are 23 minutes, 33 seconds into today's show, guys. And For Life Crew is coming out.
I'll put it over the stitches. Like my little caption. That way you can see it's clearly stitched up, but you don't see the kind of little hole there.
Okay. I already saw it, so it doesn't bother me.
So there you go. Did it.
BG's doing his. Not the 1, not the 2, not the 3, but the For Life Crew. And then here comes Kip James. And I just got 4 little words. I'm Kip James, bitch. Which is actually really funny if you think about it, because he literally is still like self-centered in this group that he's supposed to be like a family with.
Yeah, see, it's kind of weird because he is trying to be all like proving himself to BG and stuff, and he's also like, but it's me, Kip James.
Right.
Bitch.
They're facing off against the Beasts of Burden, Helvis and Sin. Yeah, it's the same Sin you thought it was. It's not his first TNA appearance. It's also not Helvis's, but he lost in like 23 seconds, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But they're fighting Kip James and Conan, dude. This is quite the teaming.
Oh, isn't that Kiznarny or whatever?
Yeah. Right? This is the same guy. I didn't just lie to you.
Sid Bowie or whatever.
Yes, it is. It is. Yes, Sid Bodie.
Okay, so Kip and Conan won that match pretty quick.
Shocker.
So that probably means that they're a dynamic duo, and they're gonna.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Bob Armstrong. Congrats, guys. Look, he's like, you guys got it. Let's go to Terry Taylor in the back. He's with Bobby Roode and Team Canada.
Nobody's looked at my story yet. Oh, wait, one person has. Just making sure people see it. I wonder how many people will unfriend me for that. Dozens.
I'm just curious when they're going to cut his foot off, because it's clearly not doing well.
No, you need to get rid of that foot.
And he needs to like stop walking on it and doing whatever he's doing to it. Christian did not only turn his back on D'Amore, on him, but on the whole country of Canada.
Look at, you hear that piped in fake booing
Dude,
sound?
that was
Holy
weird.
crap. That was horrible.
Christian, after all we've been through, I've finally seen the person that you really are. Oh, Christian, you're too egotistical for that, he says. We may have even called each other brother. But that ended at Genesis when you dropped me on my head. Oh, his family, Team Canada, AMW with the fake boos. That's pretty bad. He's going to feel the full force of it. You got to get this done, Bobby. Okay, we're back at Sabu and Abyss highlight video here. Bob, let me give you my final note here. While no decision is official, the current betting line is that Spike will be moving Impact to Thursdays within 6 months. So I'm assuming this stuff is doing pretty well here. The plan at this point is that the next season of The Ultimate Fighter will be a Thursday night primetime show as opposed to 11 p.m. on Mondays, and wrestling works well in conjunction. So most likely by the time the Ortiz Shamrock season starts, Impact will be moved before or after. It's said the Spike execs believe the Monday at midnight replay is a bad time as well, even though a consistent 0.5 that late on a workday for a cable network is a very good number. They believe that between Raw, football all weekend, and Monday, and UFC, that by the time Impact comes on, the core audience is tired and burned out, and the last thing they want to see is more wrestling or sports. So that's why we're thinking about moving it to Thursday.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever thought that, but okay. I've never been watching the NFL on a Sunday and then be like, oh, I don't know if I can watch another game. Oh, no. Sunday Night Football? No,
another one?
I can't do that. I can't spend 9 hours of watching commercial-free football. Are you nuts? Of course I can.
How do they do commercial-free football when they have to stop every 30 seconds?
NFL Red Zone.
Yeah, but what do they do?
So every time a game gets within the red zone, which is the 20-yard line to the end zone, they cut into that game. And then literally when that game, like let's say they do a play and like, oh, yeah, we're going to commercial. And they're like, okay, now we go to Arizona. And then just go to Arizona.
Oh, so they switch.
Yeah,
back and
all the games. So at 1 o'clock, there's
Oh.
like, 8 games or whatever. So they'll just jump in to a random game. And if another game is in the red zone, they're like, okay, that's great over there in LA. Let's go to Cincinnati where they're at the 15-yard line. And they just go.
Oh, that sounds intense.
It's better than watching the full game. I'd rather just watch all the games when it's getting good.
No, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Christian Cage is looking like a star coming out here. He's got a wicked cool jacket. He's got his long pants on. He takes them off, and he has boring blue tights underneath.
I was just thinking that.
The jacket and the entrance gear is sick.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got blue tights on. They got his logo, but... So, guys, this is Christian's first match in TNA wrestling. Let's see how it goes. We did guess, Bob. I feel pretty proud of us that it was going to be Bobby Roode.
I thought it was going to be on pay-per-view. I really thought it was going to be on pay-per-view, not on TV.
Me too. But, you know what? It's still his first opponent. 2 Canadians.
Yeah. But it's also, again, it's right before the pay-per-view where he's fighting Monty Brown. So I get to see, oh, jeez. Bobby Roode just got sent into ring steps and he glided into the guard railing. That was interesting. Yeah, no, I just make it so you have to buy the pay-per-view to see him wrestle. Now I know it's not Monty Brown. He's fighting here, obviously, but then I see him.
We got to see Monty Brown here come after
right.
Christian.
I've gotten one message already. Holy shit, are you going to be okay? I'm so sorry that happened to you. Oh, man.
You're fucked. Christian with a back elbow to Bobby Roode.
It's not even somebody I work with. I went to high school with her.
Oh my god, that might be worse.
Oh, man.
Christian goes for a cover. Kick out at 1 by Bobby Roode. Wow.
There's no way that even looks like that would be my foot.
Someone on Twitter goes, it kind of looks like Mr. Peanut.
Yeah, it does. That's funny.
Wait. Dut, Saban, and Dale Torborg returning to the ring at...
You are kidding
turning
me.
Against Diamonds in the Rough with
Dale
AJ Przinsky.
Torborg?
Christian
It's
off the
gonna
apron
be-
into the guardrail.
Dale Torborg is going.
Whoa. Base brawl match. Bobby Heenan on commentary for the first time in many years.
Well, I don't think that's even accurate. Front suplex there by Christian Cage. Because, little fun fact here, and I don't know how people know this, but Bobby Heenan did in fact do commentary for an IWA Mid-South show in either 2003 or 2004. I can't remember which one. But he did.
Wow.
So, did I get another message here on Instagram though? No. It's somebody going live that I don't care about.
It's so messed up. Bobby Roode throws Christian Cage back into the ring.
I'm such a bad person. But it's just a prank. I'm just having fun. Should I tell her that I'm just kidding? It's not really my
I mean, you probably should be like, it was. I would, or you know what? I would just wait and then post a follow up tomorrow and be like, it's not my foot.
I was hacked.
Wait, that's a really good one. I was hacked. It wasn't my foot.
Oh my god. I should be like, I was hacked. If you got a GoFundMe link, that's not me. I've got my account back. And then I wait 12 hours and be like, all of that was a joke. Nobody got a
Bob is doing the ultimate April Fool's joke in November.
That's what we're gonna do. When I wake up tomorrow morning, I'll be like, I don't know what happened, but that's not my foot.
Bobby Roode is a bear hugging on Christian here. TNA has been going through the entire Turning Point card. That's our next episode, Bob, coming out in just a few days.
I cannot believe that the Kiss Demon is going to be on a TNA pay-per-view.
His debut.
December of 2005.
I like that they're just like, it's the White Sox coach, Dale Torborg, instead of being like, hey, he was the Demon.
No, well, here's the thing. If they did that, you're a laughing stock.
Well, they did mention that he was a wrestler, though. So it's not like they're...
But they did not specifically say, like, oh, hey, fucking Kiss Demon.
Oh, nice gut buster.
I wonder if they could even say Kiss Demon, if that's like a copyrighted
They could
thing
say it.
Formerly
known as.
Formerly known.
It's like how they mentioned, like, Christian was the Intercontinental Champion in WWE. Like, they can say stuff. Bobby Roode pulls down the knee pad, goes up to the middle rope. Is he about to drop a knee? Well, he tried, but Christian got both feet out.
Got a question for you. What if when Kip James came in as Nin, he was his ring name was formerly known as Billy Gunn?
It very well get away with it. I just jumped because I saw a bug on the wall. I'm sorry. I think you could.
You think you could get away with his ring name in TNA being formerly known as Billy Gunn?
I mean, probably not, because you're still saying it. Although
you're saying formerly known as Billy Gunn,
Cody and Brandy Rhodes.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
One of my favorites. I don't know where that bug came from, but it scared me. I got it though, guys. We're good.
Yeah, he definitely.
Christian discus clothesline takes out Bobby Roode.
Yeah, that was kind of a sorry excuse for a lariat.
Well, happens to the best of us.
Oh my God, he just punted him.
Yeah, he did. Oh, hockey stick to the back of Christian. Northern Light suplex. What?
Dude, Slick Johnson just said get down, and Demoro is standing on the ground. He wasn't.
That was weird. Oh, going for the Canadian bomb?
Yeah, Bobby Roode? Nobody knew what the fuck he's talking about.
Why is he counting? What is he doing?
The referee fucked up the time. The referee fucked up that spot.
Yeah, because he just got slingshotted and
he fucked it up.
Northern Lariat?
Yeah, or Demore mistimed it something, but that was a fucked up spot.
Unprettier. Okay. Countered. Back suplex countered also. Reverse DDT by Christian. There's no referee because Christian literally just knocked him out. Demore's up on the ropes.
This is going to sound so stupid, but when Christian gets winded and he's like squinting his eyes and stuff like that and his nose is crunched up, he reminds me of Napoleon Dynamite.
What the fuck? We got Monty Brown in the ring beating down on Christian Cage. Could his friend Adam Copeland come out and save him?
It's his brother.
His brother?
Technically, Edge and Christian are brothers. You know that.
Going for the pounce? He ducks, pounces Scott D'Amore.
Yikes.
Tosses Monty Brown out, but Bobby Roode is back in the ring with the hockey stick. He goes to hit it, drop toe hold. Oh, low blow with the hockey stick to Bobby Roode. And then, of course, he goes for the unprettier. Boom.
Oh, you got him good on that.
Grabs the referee. Dude, the crowd was super hot for
that. We have over 4 minutes left in the show, so something's happening.
Besides
baby, that's the way you head into fucking tournament.
I mean, besides the communication error, I think that was a pretty good debut for Christian.
How's that?
Monty Brown's back in the ring.
Yeah, he's just waiting. Is he gonna pounce him? He's gonna miss it. Oh, wait, clothesline.
Here we go. The pounce. Period. Wow.
Ooh, ah, ah, ah.
Oh, Abyss and Father James Mitchell are walking in the dark toward the impact zone.
For what?
I don't know. Okay, we're in the
Oh
ring.
God, what?
Sabu! You have the tenacity of a cockroach. This needs to be done.
Dude, I can't believe they're doing this on the Go Home show. It's what? Just a fucking brawl again?
Oh wait. See, the only way to get Abyss to get rid of his fear is to face it head on. That's why Abyss will face you in the first ever barbed wire match in TNA history. I think you should do your eyebrows like that.
Yeah, okay.
You think that if he started doing cocaine on TNA Impact, that Spike would have dropped him?
Dude, what a great fucking story. Hey, we got two TV deals with CW, but we're gonna have Father James Mitchell go out there, do some cocaine, and by the way, lost our
Dude,
TV
it was
deal.
like
NXT's got it now. All right, see you later.
it was like I watched the video and I was like, why is Father James Mitchell doing coke with like? Were they supposed to be like prostitutes or like what is
I don't
happening?
know what was.
The lights are out, and Sabu's music
Here's the
is
thing,
playing.
though. The NWA.
Bob, the lights are on and the barbed wire is surrounding the ring.
Dallas, I'm not. Am I losing my mind? But there was ropes there originally.
Yeah, there was. I think we just got a little camera trick.
Yeah, you think? Because what the fuck?
And now we're ending with a hype package about the
2-minute
show.
hype package.
Wow.
Wait a minute. So
Yeah, you just saw what you saw.
So they would have to have removed the ring rope or started. Probably started. This was probably what happened. They probably started the show with the barbed wire ropes like that. Or the tape, I mean, started the tape like that. Filmed a different type of confrontation. Had the lights go out. There it is, and then he did another promo, and he spliced it in that way.
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
It's because honestly, it's insulting to my intelligence to suggest that Sabu would have the lights go out and then Sabu would get rid of the ropes and put barbed wire ropes there in the span of 5 seconds.
I'm trying to see, like, look ahead in my notes and see if there's anything about it we can talk about, Derek, since we have a 2-minute package here.
He's not like he doesn't have superpowers.
I'm not seeing anything, which is odd. Yeah, I don't know why there's no note right here about this. So I guess we'll find out when we find out, but needless to say, during those closing moments here, as we go off the air, Bob, what did you think about our go home episode before Turning Point 2005?
I feel like you were about to say Bound for Glory. I thought it was a good show. I can't. The booking with like Christian Cage wrestling right before his pay-per-view match. I don't like that. I would just have the in-ring debut on pay-per-view. What is the difference? You're trying to make money, right? It's a profitable thing. People will probably pay to see Christian Cage's in-ring debut for the company. But if I see it 3 days before, or in a lot of cases, the day before the pay-per-view, I kind of get that fix of like, oh, hey, I saw Rhino. I saw Christian Cage.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of feel like I wish they got through this Monty Brown feud, and then they kind of continued the Team Canada one for Christian a little bit. I feel like we are kind of rushing the whole situation. Like, let's get it all just done.
I feel like because what they're doing, see, their problem is that they're chasing the rating, and what you don't realize that if you pace yourself, you draw interest, you draw more people watching your show.
Right.
If you just throw everything out there, there's no build up, there's no suspense, there's no like, oh, I can't wait to see this match. You just throw it out there. You might pop a rating once in a while or whatever by doing that. But if you gradually build it up, you're just gonna get more out of it. So now I'm not gonna suggest that, hey, Christian Cage wrestled on TV, so now people are like, I'm not buying the pay-per-view in total or whatever. No, I'm not saying that. But it just adds another adds something else that you can promote. They watch Christian Cage's first TNA match live on pay-per-view against Monty. That's another selling point. Yeah, you got barbed wire, you get Jarrett Rhino 3, you got a tables match, you got AJ Joe.
Yep, I mean that's pretty much how I feel about it too.
Yeah, so you got AJ Przinsky, you got the Chicago White Sox here. This is Dale Tolbert. He used to wrestle once.
I think the most interesting part is Bobby Heenan's here, and I feel like we're kind of downplaying it. And by we, I mean like even on the show, I feel like they're like, yeah, Bobby Heenan. Yeah, it's like that feels like a big deal to me, but
yeah, no, we absolutely are. We are definitely not, because of everything going on. Bobby Heenan being a commentator, and I love Bobby Heenan, but it's taking a back seat to everything else. I mean, we literally have, from what I'm gathering from this card right now, for what's being announced, okay, we have a barbed wire match. We have Raven taking on somebody else from his past that Sabisco won't tell. 8-man tag with 4 Life Crew and Team Canada. The 6-man tag base brawl match. Diamonds the Rough against Sabin, Torborg, and Sanjay Dutt. Monty Brown and Christian Cage. Non-title tables match, A&W and Team 3D. Styles Joe for the X title, and Jarrett Rhino 3. I don't know.
What a fucking card.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is crazy.
I'll probably put Bobby Heenan coming in over the 8-man tag for 4 Life Crew and Team Canada. In terms of like, hey, this is even like a casual fan thing, because casual fans, they're tuning in to see what AJ, especially sports fans, they're going to tune in to see what AJ Przinsky's doing. Yeah. That's a sad reality. No one is tuning in to see Dale Torborg. I'll tell you that right now. No. Nobody.
Speaking of AJs, I was making the comment about the AJ Joe thing earlier, but if they put that Samoa Joe AJ ending at the end of this episode instead of that 2-minute highlight package, that would have been real good.
Yeah, but then if you'll say, why is AJ fine at the pay-per-view?
That's way different, and you know it.
How is it way different?
And he could have come out with like tape ribs or something at the pay-per-view then.
How do we not know that he had tape ribs underneath his shirt?
We do. We definitely know that because he was smiling and having a good time. I'm more curious of what's in the bag because we didn't see it.
It's got to be just a replica.
Well, yeah, but we didn't see it.
Or knowing maybe the TNA budget, it's just nothing.
Well, that's what I probably think it is, but
that's probably what it really is. Yeah,
it is probably like a tag team belt, like just to hold the place.
Yeah, no, probably.
But anyway,
I would believe that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too, though, and I am definitely really excited for Turning Point. Actually, I think Turning Point, dare I say, I think it's one of the strongest top to bottom shows of the year so far.
It's certainly wrapping up a lot of the main feuds that we've had the last 3 months, 2 or 3 months.
It's a good way to end the year, for sure.
Yeah, I think that we're getting Jarrett Rhino wrapped up, and the fact that this tag match is the table's non-title match, that tells me that that's not over.
That also screams to me that Team 3D is going to win, but they don't want them to have the belt yet, which is kind of fascinating.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, it's about the chase. It's baby when it comes to the baby face.
I wish that.
If you pop that champagne too early, you can't.
I know.
You gotta drag that sucker out. Now you don't want to wait too long. But AMW just regained it the day before fucking Bound for Glory.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, that's not.
So they probably want to give them the belts for a little bit. If you can drag it out for an additional month or two, go ahead and do that.
I think my only issue with it is I wish that there was a reason it was non-title instead of it just being non-title. Like, I wish it was like James Storm beat Devon in a singles match, and because of that, they lost their title shot, and then they still what I mean? Like, I wish there was like a reason besides just like we're just fighting in a tables match.
No,
I feel like it should have started as a tag team title match. We're doing a tables match, and then it was like, oh well, the champs pinned them, so unfortunately you can have the tables match still, but you're not getting your title shot.
Right. No, I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm excited.
An explanation. All right. Well, that's our next show is Turning Point, and just like Dallas, I am very much looking forward to that. So as of right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches announced. 2 title matches. No barbed wire, baseball players, Christian Cage, AJ and Joe. Can't go wrong with that. Oh,
and I think it's.
I just got another message. Oh my fucking god, are you okay?
Wow. And the only thing I was going to mention to end us off here, Bob, is we only have like.
Which one?
I think like 3 more impacts after Turning Point for the 2005. If I just count it correctly, so.
Yeah.
And there's we'll get to it. There's a special show that kind of happens, so we'll have to.
Oh, I know.
We'll have to chat about that a little bit, but we do only have a couple impacts left, so we are counting down. I'm sure we will do some kind of recap. I'm not sure how that is going to work exactly this year just yet, but we will let you guys know when we figure that out.
Yeah. All right. Join us for our next episode, which is Turning Point. So until then, for Dallas Gridley, I am Bob Colling Jr., and this has been the TNA Across the Line podcast.
Modest to the top. Modest at the top. Straight to the top, but then keep heading up. Stars shine for why we should give a fuck about what is real and how real is still the only way to feel the pain that sometimes deals in a way that survives the struggles we face in this life. There's a lot time can't erase. Showcase the skills you were given at birth. Live your life for what it's worth. Show off the style you perfect in life. Show off the way to make it right. Make it to the top of Mount Probation. Roll it until you feel there's nothing more for you to do or say. None of you better get in my way. Coming down. If you do, you'll be back on level ground. Modest to the top. Features that keep your head up high. I am a star that shines for why we should give a pump about life and the way we live both day and night. We are the world's humorous sails. Let's keep it laughing to save ourselves in a way that can read our planet's face. In this life, there's a lot time can't erase. Showcase the skills you were given at birth. Live your life for what it's worth. Show off the style you perfect in life. Show off the way to make it right. Make it to the top of Mount Probation. Roll it until you feel there's nothing more for you to do or say. None of you better get to the top. Modest at the top. Still modest past the top. If you're tired or thirsty at the top, sleep and drink fast to receive the pop in a way that stands out for the crowd. In this game there's a lot they won't allow, in a way that survives the struggles we face in this life. There's a lot time can't erase. Showcase the skills you were given at birth. Live your life and for what it's worth. Show all the style you perfect in life. Show all the way to make it right.
Make it to the top of Mount Profession. Roll in until you feel there's nothing more for you to do or say. None of you better get in my way. Coming down. If you do, you'll be back on level ground.
Losing chance of disrespect. I am a son with an all right neck. Modest past the top.